こんにちは、皆さん。今日、私たちは日本語を勉強しています。質問があれば、私に聞いてください。Greetings, everyone. Today we're studying Japanese. If you have any questions, then please feel free to ask at any time. I'm going to continue with Immersion with Card Captor Sakura.
今日はお魚取ったりお料理したり楽しかったね。うん。明日何するんだっけ？確か肝試しですわ。あ、そうだった。
そうだった。That's right.
確か肝試しですわ。あ、そうだった。ほら、あの岩場で試しですわ。あ、そうだった。ほら、
あの
岩場で
広場で Let's see. 岩場 Let's see. Rocky area, rocky track, rocky stretch of a climb, walk of a roll. So it's made from Iwa, which is boulder in place. So a boulder location, aka a rocky area. Hora, ano iwaba de. How? It's hora. Like, or in this case, it's probably like, hey. So hey, how about that rocky area? This is the location there. So hora, ano iwaba de.
確か肝試しですわ。あ、そうだった。ほら、あの岩場で。岩場ってビーチから見える？岩場。
Iwaba de bichi kara mieru. So the rocky area that you're able to see from the beach. Right, mieru. No, mieru is an official standalone word. That's right. But it can also be a conjugation. Let's see. Yeah, miru, mie. There's miru, mieru, and oh, that's right. It's would be mireru for the conjugation. Let's see. 3 base words that use miru. Miru, miseru, and mieru. That's what it was. So this is the to be visible, mieru. Okay, so there's miru to see, mieru to be visible, and then there's miseru to show. So the rocky area that's visible from the beach. So iwabate bichi kara mieru.
ほら、あの岩場で。岩場ってビーチから見える？あの岩場で。岩場ってビーチから見える？
Notice she's germinating that constant. She's germinating the sute.
そうだった。ほら、
So that
岩場
is
で。岩場ってビーチから見える？ええ。岩場と。岩場ってビーチから見える？岩。
岩場ってビーチから見える。
そうだった。ほら、岩場で。岩場ってビーチから見える？ええ。岩場といえば。ビーチから見える？ええ。岩場。
岩場といえば。
といえば。
So if it's the rocky area, no. If you say the rocky area, okay, so that's what it literally translates to. Nuance meaning, I believe that means something like talking about the rocky area. Let's see. Oh no, that's for Suter. Ieba has another connotation. Let's see. Please explain the grammar of this. That's what Naoko is trying to say. If you say X, literal meaning, okay, functions, it is used to introduce a topic or an association idea that immediately comes to mind when the listener speaker mentions X. It signals a mental association nuance. The phrase often implies the speaker is about to share a specific memory, opinion, or fact strongly linked to the keyword. The ellipsis at the end okay, of your example suggests the speaker is pausing to recall a specific association or is about to reveal something significant, perhaps dramatic event or specific memory involving the. Okay. So now that you mentioned the rocky place, okay, so yeah, that was the inherent meaning. Unlike the sute, which you use when you're just talking about a place, the fact that they used ieba, so if you say this, implies that the previous conversation triggered a memory in them, and they're now responding to that triggered memory. So since they was talking about the rocky area, it triggered a memory in them, and now they're going to talk about that memory. That's why they say it in this way. So, Iwaba to ie... Okay, Iwaba to ieba.
Iwaba ってビーチから見える？ええ。岩場といえば。
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think that's the other reason for using it, ieba, besides saying it is like, you can sort of use it like as an opener to saying something dramatic as well.
Iwaba といえば。こんな話知ってる？みんな。こんな話。
こんな話してるみんな. So, see, that kind of story, do you know, everyone? Let's see, konna, which is either casual for just konna in the front or konna ni, and you have to know which one's actually being implied. This can't be Kona ni because we're not describing everything, so this has to be Kona. Why does this phrase use Kona at the beginning? Demonstrate. Okay, Kona is part of the Koso Do demonstrative system. Okay. Emotional. It often carries a subjective emotion tone, implying the speaker fears the story is notable, surprising, or directly relevant to the current conversation. It modifies the noun hanashi, effectively framing the upcoming narrative as this type of story. The speaker is about Cheryl was referring to. Does it imply the hanashi? Let's see. The hanashi is more dramatic than not using Kona. See, does it imply the hanashi is more dramatic than not using Kona? Yes, using Kona often implies a hanashi is more dramatic, emotional, or notable than simply saying hanashi. Expressive function. Unlike neutral demonstratives Kono, this specific story, Kona, translates to this kind of story, such a word, inherently adding a layer of subjective judgment or emotion. It seems that the story has specific qualities, shocking, sad, unbelievable, or extreme, that the speaker wants to highlight. Emotional distance versus involvement. Academic analysis of Japanese demonstrators notes that Kona, Sona, and Ana function express indexicals. They are frequently used to express surprise, negative emotions, or emphatic involvement, whereas omitting it using Kono would sound more factual or detached. Context impact. In the phrase Kono hanashi shitteru minna, everyone knows this kind of story. Okay, the use of Kono suggests the story is widely recognized specifically because of its dramatic or archetypical nature rather than just being a specific piece of information everyone happens to know. Let's see. The use of Kona suggests this story is widely recognized specifically because of its dramatic and archetypical nature. So it's because of the emphasis of the story is why it's widely known as what they're. So this type of story. So Konna hanashi shitteru minna.
岩場といえばこんな話知ってる？みんななんか張り切っちゃってるね。知ってる？みんななんか
張り切っちゃ張り切っちゃってるね。なんか張り切っちゃってるね。So it's pull and cut, and then end up. What does pull and cut mean? So nanka, something. Arikiru, to begin in high spirits, to be full of vigor, to be enthusiastic, to be eager, to stretch to the breaking point. So cut and to stretch, it somehow means to be in high spirits or full of vigor. How did the word harikiru come to mean full of vigor? From haru meaning to stretch and or to be enthusiastic, then kiru meaning to cut or to perform decisively. According to etymological sources, the literal sense involved in stretching something to the full or to the breaking point. Over time, this physical concept of tension and maximum extension evolved into a metaphor for a person who is in high spirits or full of vigor. So the kiru is like to the breaking point. So stretch to the breaking point, or in other words, in very high spirits, okay? See, the suffix kiru adds a nuance of performing an action with decisive energy, resulting in the modern definition of being eager or vigorous in one's effort. Nanka 張り切っちゃってるね。なんか張り切っちゃってるね。So, なんか I think this is supposed to mean somehow, not something. So somehow, we're gonna end up full of vigor, or end up being in high spirits. Please explain the grammar of In this context, non-conf functions as a colloquial filler or adverbial particle similar to English, like kind of or somehow. Vagueness. It softens the statement suggesting the speaker is observing a vibe or atmosphere, rather than making a precise factual claim. It translates to you're just kind of, or you seem somehow originates. The contraction of nanka. Okay. But it does not mean something specifically. Instead, it adds the conversational nuance that the speaker is trying to find the right words to describe the situation. Okay. So it's like a replacement word. So instead of saying what you actually want to say, you want to imply what you were trying to say but couldn't find words for it. So if you want to say ABC, you say blah blah blah. And everyone understands that those blahs are supposed to represent reasons that you can't really think of what they are at the moment. Hence, so it's literally like saying something something, because that's what nanka generally gets used as something. But in English, we don't really say it as something, we say it as somehow. Harikiru. To be in the full of z. Okay, so chatteru. Start with the te from hari chatte. Add the auxiliary verb shimaru. Yeah, hari. Is it? Oh, harikiru, yeah. 張り切ってしまっている。Okay. 張り切っちゃった。Yeah, 張り切っちゃってる. Okay. When used with positive verbs like to be enthusiastic, chow often implies the amount is excessive, unexpected, or slightly problematic. It suggests the person is so enthusiastic that it stands out, perhaps unnecessarily, or that the speaker finds the level of energy surprising or slightly overwhelming. So you're kind of going all out, aren't you? Or you seem somehow overly enthusiastic. You're really working up a sweat. Let's see. Observation of excess. The speaker notices the listener is working harder, or is more excited about than the situation seemingly requires. Teasing, playful, pointing out someone's eagerness, concern, implying the person is overexerted. Okay. Mild criticism. Suggesting the enthusiasm is misplaced or annoying. Okay, so this is, I guess, the teasing. The use of nanka and the contracted chatteru marks this at the very informal speech used among friends or peers. Let's see. The English translation, you seem to be really fired up, don't you? You seem really excited, don't you? So, somehow, you ended up being really excited. In other words, you seem overly excited. なんか、張り切っちゃってるね。
こんな話知ってる？みんななんか張り切っちゃってるね、なおこちゃん。あのね、昔あのね、昔あのね、昔みんななんか張り切っちゃってるね、なおこちゃん。あのね。
That. Okay, I think she's trying to say as for that. Let's see.
岩場ってビーチから見える？ええ。岩場といえば。こんな話知ってる？みんななんか張り切っちゃってるね、なおこちゃん。あのね。
Okay, so let's see. So let's see. Speaking of the Rocky area, have you guys heard of a story like this? Or do you know of a story? Have you heard of this kind of story? Let's see. Well, you sees, or anone. So as for that, essentially, is the meaning. So ano is referring to what she was just previously talking about. Anone.
張り切っちゃってるね、なおこちゃん。昔ここに私たちと同じくらいの小学生たちがリンコちゃん。昔
昔ここに私たちと同じ、くらい、同じくらい、同じくらいの小学校生たち、小学校生たち。So a long time ago, here, wait, with we, approximately the same elementary school. Please explain the grammar of Mukashi functions as a temporal noun meaning long ago or in the past subject time frame. Koko ni combines the demonstrative noun here with particle ni, which makes the specific location or existence of the action. Let's see. The core subject, Chogako seitachi. Shogaku seitachi, meaning elementary school students. Oh, that's right. Shogako is just elementary school. If you actually want to say students, you put a say in there. Yeah, this is the same say as in seito tachi or seito. So shogako seitachi. The phrase watashi to unaji kurai, elementary school student, okay, modifies elementary school students. The particle marks a standard of comparison equivalent to with or than or in comparative structures. Unaji now meaning the same. Okay, kurashi, suffix indicating degree or approximation, translating to about or approximately. Okay, function. Together they mean the same age size as us. In this context, it implies that children in the past were roughly the same age as the current speaker. So, the particle marks the standard of comparison equivalent to with. Okay. So we're comparing to watashi tachi, so comparing to us. Unaji same. So where are they getting age from in this? Is it just understood because what else would you mean when comparing to a person? Where does same age slash size come from from? Okay, so where does the same age size come from when comparing in this sentence? Is it because the comparison is being done with watashi? Yes, you're correct. The same age is inferred from context of comparing with watashi rather than explicitly stated in the words themselves. Literal meaning unaji kurai literally means about the same degree or approximately the same amount. It is neutral and can refer to size, age, quantity, or ability. Context will include the noun being modified is shogakusei, elementary school students. When comparing groups of school children, the most natural and common metric for sameness is age and grade level. The comparative, okay, because the comparison made specifically with watashi, us, who were likely looking back at their, okay. If the speaker intended to compare size, height, or physical build, the context would usually make that clear. If they were talking about clothes or physical strength, usually, strength, okay. Without such specific context, same age as us is a standard interpretation. Mukashi koko ni watashi tachi to onaji kurai no shogakusei tachi ga. So a long time ago, at this location, there was a group of elementary school students like us.
Nao-ko-chan. 昔ここに私たちと同じくらいの小学生たちが臨海学校に来てたんだって。
臨海学校に来てたんだって。臨海学校, seaside school. Okay, that's the word that they use for school beach field trip. Means gakko, school, in rinkai, which is by the sea. So school by the sea, or in other words, school, sea or ocean field trip. Yeah, coastal, seaside, oceanfront, maritime. Rinkai comes from to look, okay, look to, face, meet, and ocean. Meeting the ocean, in other words, seaside. So, Rinkai Gakko ni kitetan datte. So, and then the sute is basically quoting from where she heard the story from without actually specifying it. So they came for the purpose of the school beach field trip. So, 臨海学校に来てたんだって。
ここに私たちと同じくらいの小学生たちが臨海学校に来てたんだって。1日目は海で泳いだり地引き網を引いたりして、海で泳いだり臨海学校に来てたんだって。1日目は海で泳いだり
1日目 First day at work school, day 1. Oh, this is the May used for chronological order, like the third bridge. You'd be like San Hashime. So I can test that right now. San Hashime. What's the kanji for bridge? Hashi. Yes, I thought it was that one. I was the translator having trouble with it. How do you say the third bridge in Japanese? Oh, Sanbanme no Hashi. Sanbanme no Hashi. So, number 3 in an order. What happens if you don't include a ban? What about Ashino Sanme? Basically, the word hashi is a noun, not a counter. The third bridge, okay, standard implies sequence. What if you don't have the me? Bridge number 3, label identifier. Ashino Sanbame means the third bridge in a sequence 1, 2, 3. It emphasizes order rank. Ashino Sanban means bridge number 3. It emphasizes the name or ID tag, similar to saying room 303 or player 9. It does not necessarily imply that there is a 1 or 2 immediately preceding it in a specific line. Okay, so Ichinichi me. So on the first day, so Ichinichi me. It's umi de oyoi dari. Jibi jabiki. Let's see, oyoi dari. So doing things like swimming. So at the beach, they were doing things like swimming. Then, jibiki mo. Beach seine, longhorn seine, dragnet for fishing. So earth pole netting or dragnet fishing, okay. So jibiki mo o, let's see, hitari shite. Wait, why are you saying it as that? Okay. So pulling the dragnet, I guess, would be the best way to translate that. Jibiki ami. Wait, let's see. Please explain the grammar of and Biki comes from Hiki with the Daku 10 added. Oh, that's why it's Ita, that's right. So Hiku conjugated into the Ta form, which is also used for Tari form, is Hiku is Hita. So Tari form is Hitari. So on the first day at the beach, they were doing things like swimming and pulling a drag net. So ichinichi me wa umi de oyori No, notice it's oyori dari because it's oyogu conjugates its past tense is oyoida. So and the tari form is based off of the ta conjugation, so or the past tense conjugation. So instead of being oyoi tari, it's oyoi dari. So ichinichi me wa umi de oyoi dari chibiki mo wo hitari shite. So on the first day, they were doing at the beach. They were doing things like swimming and pulling a dragnet.
臨海学校に来てたんだって。1日目は海で泳いだり地引き網を引いたりして楽しい臨海学校って感じだったんだけど、
楽しい臨海学校って感じだったんだけど、so as for the fun school beach trip, let's see, let's see, kanjiru is to feel, I thought. So kanjiru, kanji dot. Kanji dot. Let's see if this is the noun kanji, then this is and dot ending particle da. That'd be to be feeling up. No, but then this is da right here. But you sometimes do that. Let's see, dot da. If this is to feel, let's see, kanji do. Feeling, sensation, impression. So it was that it felt. So fun school ocean trip, it felt. Interesting. Why write like that? Please explain the grammar of see roughly translates to it was like a fun seaside school okay, like a fun ocean field trip, but I'd say it felt like a fun ocean field trip, but the speaker is characterizing the past event or situation as resembling a fun school beach field trip, a common school trip in Japan involving swimming and beach activities. Okay, the sentence ends with a conjunction that suggests follow comment, contradiction, or explanation is coming. Let's see, seaside school or marine school, typically a multi-day educational trip for elementary or junior high students to the coast for swimming and nature study. Kanji, a noun meaning feeling, vibe, or sense. Let's see. Da kiddo, sentence and instruction combining explanation, normalization, and a soft conjunction. It was like a fun seaside school, but so as for a fun seaside school, it felt, aka it felt like a fun seaside school. Okay, that's probably the best way to interpret it. So Tanoshi Rinkai, Tanoshi Rinkai Gakkoって感じだったんだけど、
して楽しい臨海学校って感じだったんだけど、次の日の夜肝試し大会があったの。肝試し大会、次の日の夜、
次の日の夜、次の日の夜、so the next day's evening, 肝試し big meet, let's see.
臨海学校って感じだったんだけど、次の日の夜肝試し大会があったの。
大会があって、I guess that means like event or something. 大会 mass meeting, convention, rally, conference, assembly, gathering, tournament, competition, contest. So the next day's evening, or tomorrow evening, there was a test of courage. They had a test of courage gathering. So tomorrow evening they had a test of courage gathering. So sugi no hi no yoru, kimo dameshi, sugi no hi no yoru kimo dameshi taikai ga atta no.
楽しい臨海学校って感じだったんだけど、次の日の夜肝試し大会があったの。まあ、私たちと同じ日程ですわね。
まあ、私たちと同じI believe that word has something to do with schedule. Let's
の
see.
夜肝試し大会があったの。まあ、私たちと同じ日程ですわね。
Oh, Nite. Okay, so schedule, program, agenda. So extent, degree. Yeah. Okay, this is the kanji used in Hodo. So days, and then the days limit, aka the schedule. Or the agenda. So Nite. まあ、私たちと同じ日程ですわね。So, wow, they had the same schedule as us. まあ、私たちと同じ日程ですわね。
次の日の夜肝試し大会があったの。まあ、私たちと同じ日程ですわね。あの岩場の洞窟でやったらしいんだけど、あの岩場の洞窟でやったらしいんだけど、
岩場の岩場の洞窟 cave, caverns, grotto made from den, cave, excavation, and then cavern. So two words used in caves. Wait, Iwaya is a word? Oh, wow. Interesting logic there. Anya. Panya Bakery. So a bread store is a bakery. So a Iwa. A rock. A boulder store is a cave. It's literally being called like a boulder store. Iwaya. Iwaya and Dokutsu. What is the difference between Dokutsu and Iwaya? Dokutsu refers to a large, deep natural cavity or cavern found by a long-term geological process like erosion or dissolution, often featuring complex internal structures, stalactites, and significant depth. In contrast, Iwaya denotes a smaller, shallow rock hollow or niche typically found on cliff faces or coast, which historically held cultural or spiritual significance as a sacred site, shrine, or shelter in Japanese mythology. Which explains why when I was walking in Japan, oftentimes when you see any kind of depression in rocks, you might find a little shrine made inside of it. So it's basically sort of like a cave depression in the sidewall, dokutsu, while the dokutsu's an actual like extravagant cave, like Mammoth Cave. Ano iwaba no dokutsu de yatta. So they did that cave. Let's see. Rashin. Rashin.get. Oh, they did something like that cave. Let's see, and apparently they did something in that cave on the rocky shore. Please explain the grammar of yatta from yaru, meaning to do. Okay, in casual speak, yaru is often used as a generic verb to do or perform something carrying a slightly rough or masculine tone or implying. Let's see. Explain this sentence more. That's not how I generally see yaru used. I generally see it, the other definition used of when you're doing something but with effort. Speaker likely heard from someone else, was inferring it from clues, okay, rather than seeing. What is this sentence saying? I heard that they did it in that cave, but... Okay, referring to the test of courage. So essentially to do or do action at the location of the cave, since we have the location marker de here. So, ano iwa ya, no iwa, yeah, ano iwa ja, yeah, iwa ba. Ano iwa ba no, ano iwa ba no dokutsu. Ano iwa ba no dokutsu de, yatarashin da kedo. So I heard they did it at that cave, but...
岩場の洞窟でやったらしいんだけど、その洞窟の奥の小さな
洞窟。
でやったらしいんだけど、その洞窟の奥の小さな泉に橋がかかってて、洞窟の奥の
洞窟。let's see. その洞窟の奥 inner part, interior, back, living recess. Sono dokutsu no oku no chisa. So chisana, so small izumi. Isn't that a... Oh, it's spring fountain. So oku, so that, and that cave's back, small spring. So at the location of that cave, that cave's back, small spring, and then hashi ga kakatete, what? Kakatete, to span, to bridge. Spring fountain. So in that cave's back spring, a small, okay, in that in that cave's in the back of that cave, it has a spring, and there's a bridge that spans it. So Sonodokutsu no oku no chisana izumi sonodokutsu no oku no chisana izumi ni hashi ga kakatte sonodokutsu no oku no chisana izumi ni hashi ga kakatte. So in the back of the cave, there's a small spring spanned by a bridge. Let's see, and there was a bridge leading to a small spring deep inside the cave. Wait, there was a bridge leading to the small spring? What is being said with this? Is there a bridge in the back of the... There's a bridge deep inside the cave that spans a small... It spans a... spring, or does the bridge lead to the spring? Okay, it describes a bridge that is located deep inside a cave and spans across a small spring or pond. In Japanese, okay. With the particle ni combined with kakattete from kakeru, meaning to span, to bridge, indicates the object being bridged. Therefore, the bridge physically crosses over the spring. It does not merely lead to it. It connects the areas on either side of the water feature. So sonodokutsu no oku no, deep inside the cave. If you remember, Oak-san was one of the words for wife, but its other meaning is the inner part of whatever is being talked about, like square no oak, or the inner part of a desk. Let's see, living quarters at the back of a house, in a room, recess in one's mind, bottom of one's heart, behind someone's words, mysteries of an art. So deep inside the cave, there's a small spring that is spanned by a bridge. So sonodokutsu no oku no chisana izumi. Okay, izumi. Sonodokutsu no oku no chisana izumi ni hashi ga kakattete.
岩場の洞窟でやったらしいんだけど、 その洞窟の奥の小さな泉に橋がかかってて、その橋は泉の真ん中の祠につながってるの。
Let's see. その橋は泉の真ん中の祠につながってるの。So その橋 that bridge, okay, 泉の真ん中 middle center middle point. I don't know. Where does the mon come from? Probably from no, the end part at least. Let's see. This is true, real, genuine, proper. So true plus in the middle of is center. What is the origin of this? Manaka is etymologically derived from man, meaning true, real, exactly, combined with naka, meaning central middle. While the specific historical evolution is not recorded, the combination of these characters has been used for centuries to denote the concept of the central position. The kanji, meaning true or genuine, emphasizes the precision of being the exact middle, while naka, meaning inside or middle, provides the spatial reference. So Manaka to function as a noun referring to the point or position equidistant from the edges of the extreme of something, applicable to both physical locations and abstract concepts. So in other words, the true center, or the Manaka. Sonahashi wa izumi no Manaka no Hokora. Small wayside shrine. Hokora is a miniature Shinto shrine either found on the precincts of a larger shrine or dedicated to folk kami or on a street side, enshrining kami not under the jurisdiction of any large shrine. Dosojin, minor kami protecting travelers from evil spirits, can for example be enshrined in Hokora. So it's what they refer to as those small shrines you see when you travel across Japan. So that bridge, let's see, in the middle, in the stream's middle shrine, I assume they mean on the bridge, because how can you have a shrine in the water, I guess. Let's see. Sunagateru to be connected, to be joined together, to be linked, to be tied, to lead to connect. To be related by blood. Tsunagateru. Tsunagaru, to be connected. To connect of a telephone call. So to connect to the bridge is connected to the river's center small shrine. Oh, in other words, there is a small shrine on the bridge at the center of the river. I think that's what it's trying to say. Wait, and there's a bridge over a small spring at the back of the cave, and that bridge leads to a shrine right in the middle of the spring. Please explain the grammar of the bridge is spanning across a small spring deep inside the cave, and the bridge connects to a shrine in the middle of the spring. Cave at the back of the small spring, meaning in the small spring, the back of the cave. First clause, the bridge existence. Ashiga kakate. Okay, bridge. A bridge spanning across it. Second clause. Sono hashi wa izumi no mannaka no hokora ni tsunagateru. So that bridge, izumi no mannaka, the middle of the spring, no hokara, shrine, tsunagateru, colloquial contraction of tsunagateru, okay, to be linked, progressive. In this context, it provides an explanation, context, or emphasis. It implies the speaker is describing a situation to the listener, often translated into a soft assertion or you see. The bridge connects to the shrine in the middle of the spring, you see. Okay. Little in the cave's back, small spring, a bridge is spanning. That bridge to the spring's middle shrine is connected. Natural English. There is a bridge spanning across a small spring deep inside the cave, and that bridge leads to a shrine situated in the middle of the spring. Contextual nuance. The speaker is likely guiding someone describing a scene in a story or explaining a map layout. The use of no adds a nuance here of, hey, here's the situation, or that's how it's set up. So, and that bridge leads to a shrine situated in the middle of the spring. If the small shrine is in the middle of the spring, doesn't that mean it is on the bridge, or doesn't that mean it is in the middle of the bridge, or else it would be underwater? Your intuition is correct. In the literal physical sense, a shrine cannot sit directly on the surface of a spring without being submerged or inaccessible. The sentence describes a specific spatial arrangement common in Japanese mythology, storytelling, or garden design. Here's a logical breakdown of how the scene works physically and culturally. The island concept, Nakajima, in Japanese garden architecture and folklore, bodies of water, ponds, springs, lakes often feature a small island, Nakajima, in the center. And there were a lot of small islands in some of the gardens we visited when we were going through many of Tokyo's gardens. The Hokura is not floating on the water. It is built on a small patch of land, a rock formation, or artificial islet rising out of the spring. So the bridge row. The bridge spans from the cave wall, the shore, to the central island. Without the bridge, the shrine would indeed be isolated or underwater in the sense of being unreachable. It's a cultural context. The design symbolizes the transition from the mundane world, the cave floor, to the sacred space, the island. Famous examples includes Itsukushima Shrine, which appears to float on water during high tide but is accessible via walkways, in the Byodo in Phoenix Hall, which sits on an island connected by a bridge. Oh, so it's not on the middle of the bridge. The bridge, they're implying that there's an island in the middle of the spring, and the bridge leads to the island. Or maybe not even that. Maybe it could just be on pillars, and the pillars go into the water. Okay, but the point is, the small shrine is in the middle of the spring, and the bridge leads to it. It connects to that middle of the spring. So the other side. Okay, so one of the endpoints is the middle of the spring. Of the bridge is the end point of it's the middle of the spring. Okay. So, その橋は泉のその橋は泉の真ん中の祠につながってるの。So that bridge connects to the middle of the spring's shrine.
It's の奥の小さな泉に橋がかかってて、その橋は泉の真ん中の祠につながってるの。肝試しの内容っていうのはにつながってるの。肝
試しの
内容っていうのは
内容って肝試しの内容っていうのがSo the test of courage contents. See, so as for the test of courage contents, So substance matter details. I'm interested they're using Naiyo for this. Why is Naiyo being used for instead of Koto or something? Content details or subject matter rather than a normalizer like Koto no. In the phrase Kimo Dameshi no Naiyo, the speaker is referring to the specific subject or facts of the event. Using Koto will normalize the action, turning to the test of courage into the fact action or action of during the liver test. So it normalizes it so you can talk about it, but we don't want to talk about it. We want to talk about the contents or what it involves. But that's how Koto's used sometimes. Let's see, whereas Naiyo specifically points to what the action consists of or the narrative details involved. Naiyo refers to substance details or subject. Koto, okay. But Watashi no Koto usually refers to details about someone. Why can't it be like that here? You are correct that Koto can refer to the details or matters regarding a person, things about me or my situation. However, it cannot replace Naiyo in the phrase Kimo Dameshi no Naiyo due to the fundamental difference in what they define. Koto refers to the existence, facts, or general concepts of something. When used with a person, it means the matters concerning me or my persona as a whole entity. It treats the subject as an abstract thing. Naiyo refers specifically to the internal substance, plot, or detailed composition of a defined container like the story, event, or document. In this context, Kimo Dameshi, a test of courage. Okay, using Koto would mean the fact that the test of courage happened, or matters regarding the test of courage. Using Naiyo specifically asks for narrative details. What exactly happened? What was the story? Where are the specific scares? Okay. Just as you wouldn't say the Koto of the book to mean the plot of the book, you would use Naiyo when you want to open the container or the event, examine its specific contents rather than just acknowledging the event's existence. So Koto refers to existence, facts, or general concepts of something when used with the person. Watashi no Koto meaning matters concerning me, my persona as a whole entity. It treats the subject as an abstract thing. Naiyo refers specifically to the internal substance, plot, or detailed composition of a defined container like story, event. So Koto gets used when you want to talk about the matters referring to something, and Naiyo when you want to talk about the details of that something. If I understand it correctly. So Kimo Dameshi no Naiyote. Okay, Kimo Dameshi no Naiyote Iu no ga. So as for the said details of the test of courage.
泉の真ん中の祠につながってるの。肝試しの内容っていうのは 生徒が2人1組で祠まで行って肝試しの内容っていうのは生徒が2人1組で
生徒が2人
内容っていうのは生徒が2人1組で祠
見るで祠まで行って生徒が2人1組one class of students, one group of people, one set of items. Okay, so Kumi class group bunch lot. So one group of 2 people. I guess they did the test of courage as groups of 2. So seito ga futari hito kumi de hokora mare, so up until the shrine, ite. So one group of 2 students went all the way up to the shrine, to the small shrine. Please explain the grammar of the challenge involves students going to the shrine in pairs. So let's see. As for the contents of as for the test of courage contents, let's see, going all the way up to the shrine in pairs. So why use day here? Grouping Hito. Let's see. Hito Kumi, okay. So X Hito Y Kumi specifies how people are divided. So Nihito Ichi Kumi literally translates to 2 people, 1 group, which is the standard way to say in pairs or teams of 2 in Japanese. This is frequently used in school activities and games. So Mare. While ni marks the specific target destination, mare emphasizes the extent of the movement all the way to. In the context of Kimo Dameshi, it implies the students must travel the full distance to the shrine, often through dark or scary paths, highlighting the challenge of the events. So basically, in this case, it's implying it's a journey itself to get there. It's not just getting to the shrine, but you have to go all the way through that cave up to that shrine. See, Hokora Oh, is the de and nihito ichikumi the method de yes, the de in nihito ichikumi is indeed the method or means dead. Indicates the manner or formation in which an action of going to the shrine is performed. So seito ga nihito ichikumi de hokora made ite. So the students went up to the shrine in pairs of two, in groups of two.
につながってるの。肝試しの内容っていうのは生徒が2人1組で祠まで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、ろうそくを置いてくる。
Rosoku candle made from wax and what wax, okay. Rosoku let's see, oite kuru to place and come. So place a candle and come back. So oite kurut te iu mono nanda kedo. So they were to place a candle and come back, and their groups of two. So to leave a candle there, but so the test of courage involves students going to the shrine in pairs to leave a candle there, but Rosoku wo oite kurut te see. If I understand it correctly. And this kuru comes from the fact they are saying to leave a candle and come back. Instance of to do something and come back. Okay, yeah, so Rosoku wo oite kurut te iu mono nan dake nanda kedo. So Rosoku wo oite kurut te iu mono nanda kedo. So let's see. So they were to leave a candle and come back. And let's hear if she germinates this or not. I suspect, well, let's see, there's a possibility she may not germinate this. Let's see.
生徒が2人1組で祠まで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、生徒が2人1組で祠まで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだ。1組で祠まで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、のは生徒が2人1組で祠まで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど。
Yep, she didn't germinate it, she just did the pause. So kurute instead of kurut て。そう、ろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、so the thing was that they had to leave the candle and come back, but
祠まで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、そのうち一組が行ったっきりいつもとそのうち
see, that's uchi. That's usually used in the middle of, so that middle, let's see, before long, before very long, soon, someday, one of these days, sooner or later, of the previously mentioned, okay, of that number of, among them or among others. Oh, so probably among them. That's probably what this is supposed to mean. So sono uchi. So that middle, yeah, uchi. This uchi has to do with the innards, I believe. Inside, within. So among them. So within their group. Sono ichi, ichi kumi ga, ikonata kiri okonau, to perform, to do, to conduct oneself, to carry, transitive. So among them, one group performed it, and then Tsukiri only just ever since, after continuously remaining. See, but one of the pairs never came back. Where did they get the never came back from? Please explain the grammar of continuously remaining. Oh, maybe they're trying to say they continuously remain in the state of having gone. Since you never kuru'd came back, you remain in the state of having gone. In other words, you didn't come back. I think this is supposed to be Ito. Let's listen to what she says. Sono uchi ichi kumi ga itakiri.
とそのうち一組が行ったっきりそのうち一組が行ったっきりいつまでとそのうち一組が行ったっきりとそのうち一組が行ったっきりいつまでとそのうち一組が行ったっきり
She's not germinating that consonant at all. She's just pausing there. So she's saying it's sonuchi, ichi kumi ga itakiri, with just a little pause there. And instead of saying sonuchi, okay, sonuchi, ichi kumi ga itakiri. kiri. The phrase ita kiri is the most critical grammar element of the story's tension. The sukiri, okay, since doing X, nothing has happened, or did X and never, it is almost always followed with a negative, let's see, that is... Modoru. Oh, these are different kanji for it, though. So modote nai, or haven't returned, or left unfinished, as a new sentence to imply that the expected return never occurred. By saying ita kiri, speaker implies one pair went and never came back. The sentence trails off to let the listener fill in the scary conclusion. Please explain the sukiri more. Tasukiri is a powerful expression used to describe an action that happened once, after which the expected subsequent action never occurred. In your sentence, ita kiri implies they went and never came back. Just did X, or since doing X. Actual meaning, it was almost always carries a negative nuance, implying that after the initial action, the situation remained unchanged, or the expected return reaction did not happen. Why the nuance in horror stories? The rule was to go and come back, or oite kuru, reality, to place and go back. Yeah, reality, ita kiri. Implication, coming back. Part of the rule was violated permanently. By cutting the sentence off at that, the speaker creates a cliffhanger. The grammar itself signals that the story has taken a dark turn without needing to explicitly say they disappeared or they died. Why the use of oikiri, which appears to come from kiru, the use of the small su in the kanji kiri from kiru to cut in the grammar pattern ta su kiru, okay, is directly related to the concept of severing or cutting off a sequence of events. From cut to limit. The particle kiri originates from the noun kiru, which means to cut, slice, or to sever. Original meaning, using a knife cuts a physical object. Kiri metaphorically cuts the flow of time or actions. It establishes a limit or boundary. Semantic shift. Physical cut, okay, cutting a rope. Abstract limit, this is the cutoff point, only this much, just this. Temporal severance, the action happened and then the connection was cut. This evolved into the meaning of since doing X, nothing else has happened. When you say itakiri, you're linguistically cutting off the timeline after the act of going. The expected return is severed, the sequence is broken. Why the small su? Okay. This is a phonetic phenomenon called gemination, or double consonant. The standard form, ikiri, begins sounds slightly more neutral or formal, but the sukiri, the emphatic form, Small su forces a pause and doubles the consonant sound, adding intensity or emotion. In the context of your horror story, Itakiri, okay, they went and didn't come back. Factual. So Itakiri and then Itakiri, they went and just vanished. Emphatic, implying finality and shock. The small su reinforces the cut. It makes the stop feel more abrupt and permanent, which is why it is preferred in dramatic storytelling or when the speaker feels strong frustration or surprise. So, その1、その1、okay, そのうち、いくり、そのうち、oh, その1、その1、そのうち、1くりがいたきり。So, so among them, one of the groups went and never came back. Sonouchi means among them in this case. Yes, in this specific context, sonouchi means among them or of those pairs. It functions as a pronoun, referring back to the previously mentioned group, the students. Okay, test of courage, okay. Sonouchi literally means inside that or among that group. Would you normally have wa after sonouchi? Let's see. Sonouchi functions as a verbial phrase meaning among them or of those. It directly modifies the counter phrase hito kumi, one pair. The particle ga attaches to hito kumi because one pair is the subject of the verb went. Adding wa is the sonouchi. No, okay. No, I meant sonouchi wa hito ichikumi. Wait, does she say hitokumi or ichikumi?
いうものなんだけど、そのうち一組が行った。
Oh, she said hito as in hitori, okay.
ろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、そのうち一組が行った。
So hitokumi, okay. So hitokumi ga it's grammatically possible, but it changes the nuance significantly, but creates a contrastive meaning that likely doesn't fit the story's flow. Without wa, sonouchi hitokumi ga meaning among them, one pair. Neutral selection, it simply identifies which pair. So among one group, so it describes. So as for the group, one pair, or regarding among them one pair, contrast definition, using what sounds like you're contrasting this group with another group and defining the scope of among them specifically, which example where this works. There were many strange occurrences as for the moment among them incident. One pair went, okay. Oh. So, Sonouchi is a noun that describes Hitokumi. Not exactly. Sonouchi is technically a pronoun or adverbial noun that functions as a quantifier or selector in this context rather than a descriptive adjective. It doesn't describe what the pair is like, brave pair or a scary pair. Instead, it defines which pair by selecting it from the previously mentioned group. Grammatical relationship, structure, Sonouchi among them, and then Hitokumi. It acts like a partitive phrase in English, one of them. Oh, it restricts the scope. It tells the listener from the total group of students mentioned earlier. You can think of it as a shortened version of Sonouchi no. Of those were Sonouchi kara, from among those, which would be like a noun describing it. Anyway. Sonouchi Hitokumi ga itakiri. Sonouchi Hitokumi ga itakiri. So, among one of the groups, they went and never returned.
ここらまで行ってろうそくを置いてくるっていうものなんだけど、そのうち一組が行ったっきりいつまで経っても帰ってこなかったの。
いつもまでいつもまで経っても帰ってこなかったの。So let's see. From when? See, from now on. From then I think it's supposed to mean like, and then tatemo, something returned konakatta no. Oh, this comes from koi. So return come, so did not return. Let's see. Okay, so there was a line at the end of this. Please explain the grammar of the final part. Okay. Tsukiri, which indicates an action happened once and never happened again. They went and never returned. Okay. Here we go. Itsu. Okay, so Itsumare Tatemo emphasizes the duration of the wait. Structure Itsu when Mare until Tatsu to pass to elapse. Okay, so Tate Mo meaning no matter how much time passes or forever. It sets up a condition of indefinite time that reinforces the negative outcome. So until when? Please explain Itsu Mare in more detail. The when and particle until, it literally translates to until when or how long. Okay. Let's see. Itsu means when. It is used to ask for a specific point in time, and then Mare, a particle that marks the endpoint or limit of an action or space. I mean, when combined, Itsu Mare asks for the deadline or the duration of a state or action and inquires about specific time when something stops. So until when will you be in Tokyo? How long are you staying in Tokyo? Itsumare Tokyo ni imasu ka? So they said this original meaning when let's see. Meaning no matter how much time passes or forever. So Itsumare tatemo. So up to when past. How does passing until when mean forever in this sentence? But Itsumare Tokyo imasu ka mean how long are you staying in Tokyo? How does passing until when mean forever in this sentence? But Itsumare Tokyo imasu ka? The difference lies entirely in the grammatical structure following Itsumare. The phrase Itsumare itself simply means until when. Its final meaning depends on how the sentence finishes. So Itsumare plus verb plus question. This is a direct question asking for specific endpoint or deadline. You are asking the listener to define the limit. Translation: until when are you staying in Tokyo? The forever form Itsumare plus verb tatsu to pass. This is the concessive clause, meaning even if time passes until when. Tatsu to pass, specifically we're on time. Temo means even if. Combine even if time passes indefinitely, or no matter how long time passes. Okay, so yeah, you're not specifying time. You're saying no matter what the time passes. So even up to any amount of time passing. So in other words, forever. Okay. So いつまで経っても帰ってこなかった。Please explain. Is a compound verb structure meaning did not come back. It combines an action with a specific direction relative to the speaker. Let's see. Ko from kudu. Koi past negative. Return Ted form plus come did not come. So they're using come to say return in our direction, essentially, instead of just saying kaeru directly, they're saying kaete koi. And let's see, koi is the kudu imperative, yeah, koi. Let's see, koi negative is let's see, it says kurana, but this is kunat. So kuruna and kunakata, the same thing. The past negative ending. Let's see, past. So kita is negative. Konakata. What is... Let's see, nuance of direction. Why not just kaede nakata? So kaede nakata means did not return, did not... Okay, simply states the fact that the return trip did not occur. It does not specify the speaker's location. The subject might have stayed at a shrine, went somewhere else, or simply didn't go home. Kaete konakata means did not come back, emphasizing the direction towards the speaker. In your story, the other students are waiting at the starting point. They are saying they went to the shrine and they did not come back to us. Here you go. Kudu. Yeah, kaete kudu comes back. Kaete konai doesn't come back. Kaete konakata didn't come back. Let's see, konai. Oh, that's right. The negative present tense is konai. Negative past is... So that's where it comes from. Negative past is konakata. So konai is negative. Oh, and it's koi. That's right. It's koi that's imperative in kuruna. Yeah, kuruna for negative. Okay, imperative. So itsumare tatte mo kaete konakatta no. So no matter how much time has passed, they did not come back. Itsumare tatte mo kaete konakatta no.
いうものなんだけど、そのうち一組が行ったっきりいつまで経っても帰ってこなかったの。一組が行ったっきりいつまで経っても帰ってこなかった。
So いつまで経っても帰ってこなかった。いつまで経っても帰ってこなかったの。
一組が行ったっきりいつまで経っても帰ってこなかったの。そのうち一組が行ったっきりいつまで経っても帰ってこなかった。
質問がありますか? Are there any questions? If not, we're going to rate, so please stick around for that. We're going to rate Mizuki Meido, who's teaching Japanese. We're going to rate Tomcat199X, whose native language is Japanese and studying English. Let's see, and for the third raid, Okay, we're gonna raid JFG Rumble Edition, who's playing No More Room in Hell. Minasan, お気をつけて、また明日. Goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow.